Hi everyone, this is Duni. My First of all, I'd like to wish everyone a happy weekend. It's such a beautiful first weekend of September, and for those of our colleagues and friends who are in the US, happy Labor Day weekend. I know how it is when we are having our bank holidays. We tend to be very excited. So today, I thought about talking about well-being. It's something we hear all the time. We all desire to have full health and have well being enhanced in our daily lives. But there's so many aspects to well being. For you to have well being, that means your whole being has to be well. But what are the things that make up your being? Now, when we talk about your being, it's not just your body. It's not about, I do not want to have pain, or I want to lose weight, I want to sleep better. It's about the different aspects that make up you. And in this case, we are made up of spirit, mind, soul, and body. Now, many times we ignore one part or the other, and we always favor the body because that's the part we can see. That's the part where, if we're in pain, we feel it there. We all know that if we've experienced loss in the past, we also have our soul, the seat of our emotions, coming up with all sorts of anger, sadness, guilt, regret, things like that. And we know there is a need to make sure that the emotional aspect of our being is also well catered for. Another aspect, which we easily forget, is the mind. Now, the mind has become more commonly spoken about because with the mind, you have your thoughts that are ever racing. And sometimes you can't even control them. But while you can't control your mind and the thoughts that come there, you can control your reaction or your interpretation of those thoughts. And that's where your power lies. That's where we can make a difference so that that well-being is improved. Now, the other one I would like to speak about, the other aspect of our being, is the spiritual. Now, we always hear people talk about spirituality and religiosity. Now, they are two different things. Irrespective of your religion, we are all spiritual beings. We all have an essence within us that goes beyond just the body that is moving about. And the moment we recognize that and we nourish our spiritual being, that's when we start to realize how special we are. Because if we think we're just the body, we might lose the connection to our source. Now, when we think about all these aspects of our being, what can we do? First of all, we need to remember our source. That's for the spiritual aspect. Connect with your source, connect with God. Things you can do in that regard: prayer, meditation, giving thanks. Also, walking in nature can be a time when you connect with the force, the creative power that is just beyond the trees and the leaves. So those are things you can do in your time to help to enhance your spiritual well-being. Reading spiritual texts as well can be helpful. Now, we'll move on to the well-being of the mind. Now, the mind is such a powerful aspect of our being. Like I mentioned earlier, there's so many thoughts going through at every given point in time. And unfortunately, we can't control them, but we can control how we interpret them and what effect it has on us. And so, the tips you can, or practices you can employ to help control your mind and enhance your well-being in that regard are: 1, practicing mindfulness. Another, you can write your thoughts especially the ones that are overwhelming, in what we call a worry journal. Okay? When you put things down, the kinesthetic effect has such a profound impact on the way you interact. And so, by putting it down, your brain feels you're taking control. Your mind feels, okay, so this person is going to act on this. And then you can make plans or collaborate with people who can help you with that issue that is causing you worry. And when you also want to help your mind, reading goes a long way. Listening to audiobooks, that's when you're using no extra time. So while you're gardening, you're washing, you're walking, you're driving, you can listen to podcasts and audiobooks that are uplifting of the mind. Now, the other aspect I'm going to talk about is the soul, and that's where all the emotions come from. And the emotions, they can be quite overwhelming in themselves. We all want to be happy. I mean, we all want to have joy and peace and be excited all the time, have the energy in the world. But there are times when things happen. We lose someone, we lose something. Things don't go the way we planned it to go. And so we get ourselves in a position where we start to experience fear, sadness, guilt, pain. Things you can do to help with that. Also, mindfulness practice. The second thing you can do is being connected. Connection to yourself. So being very self-aware of how you feel at every given point in time. And because you have, in the first aspect, recognized that you are not just by yourself, you are connected to a source, which is God, you then know that you can take those burdens, those worries, those fears, those overwhelming emotions, and hand it over to this source that you are connected to. Those are ways by which you can uplift your soul. You can gain an emotional well-being in yourself. Now, physical, there's so many aspects because many people have researched into it. We see it all the time. We see our body. So obviously, the things we can do are very many. But I'll mention a few. First of all, you need rest. So adequate, good quality rest and sleep. Now, the rest is between every task, take a break. Make sure you have enough hydration. Drink lots of fluids. Make sure that you have good nutrition, healthy food. Expose yourself to some sunlight because that's one great way by which you get vitamin D and all the other things that we need in terms of improving our well-being. Very importantly, we also need to connect with people. Physically, we need to be active. Exercise. Now, you don't have to go out, join a gym. You don't have to go exercising for hours on end. You can just do a few bursts of exercise. Some people do HIIT training. Some people just do a dance. These are things you can do to enhance your well-being. I hope today's video has helped at looking at the different aspects of our well-being and the way we can improve them one way or the other. So, this is Duni, and I have a special announcement as well. There is a challenge. I know I asked a few days ago if we are up for a challenge. Now that we know what I've just spoken about, let's stand up and rise to a challenge. So it's a 5-day challenge to boost our well-being. And what are we going to do here? The 5-day challenge is such that we are going to, from the 16th of September, which is a Wednesday, it's going to be for every day till the 20th of September at 9 p.m. every day, and that's the British summertime. We're going to have an hour where we'll go into more detail about what we've spoken about today and a bit more, how to just hone those taking care of ourselves, well-being skills. Okay, so I will put the details in the down below, and I will ask that you just register for it. It's absolutely free. Get your friends, get your family, share the information, let them all get in, and we'll be able to challenge ourselves to boost our well-being for a better life, for that life we deserve, that life of abundance. Okay? Right. Have a beautiful day, everyone, and thank you for watching day or night, wherever you are in the world. Take care and stay well. Okay?